So the Thor trailer, I think, was a huge indicator for the future of Marvel movies, regardless of their topic. Obviously, the film is called Ragnarok, which should automatically in your head show you images of fire, brimstone, and death. And then you watch the trailer and you get a pretty good amount of comedy in it, which honestly throws a lot of people off. Now, Marvel, ever since Iron Man 1, has been known for putting humor into all of their movies, and they find it kind of like a necessity to put it in there so the movies don't get bogged down with trying to be too serious, as movies are entertainment. You watch them for entertainment. Specifically superhero movies. Now, obviously, when it comes to talking about the tone of the movies, a lot of people keep looking at Marvel saying, why don't you change this or change that? What are you going to do with this? Why aren't you adjusting for this or that? You know, when we look at movies like Fast and Furious, for example, they're trying to appeal to a broader market than ever before, so there's a diversity of casting, and they're changing stuff, and they're shooting aspects of it in China and Russia. Like Transformers shoots a lot in China so they can get a big Chinese boost from Chinese actors, and a lot of people are questioning why Marvel doesn't do that. Yes, they did have a Chinese cut of Iron Man 3 that featured an extra 8 minutes, but that was only seen there and not outside of China. And this is what Marvel's Kevin Feige had to say. An amazing thing happened as we started making movies. The world started responding to the movies we were making, and therefore we didn't have to change or cater them in any way outside of our own nature. Now, what he's saying here is, think about the time frame we're in. Let's travel back to 2008. At that time, you had Batman Begins came out, and that movie was not big. That was actually seen as a failure to DC. That movie was not making a lot of money in 2005, I believe, when Batman Begins came out, and DC was in trouble. They were about to shoot Justice League just because they were like, we need to shove all our heroes in one. And The Dark Knight came out, and that movie set a tone for everything has to look and feel a certain way. Everything has to be grounded. James Bond, you got to be realistic. You can't be fantastical anymore, have any crazy gadgets. And everybody started taking on that mentality. Marvel came out and were like, well, why don't we just do our own thing? And by and large, for the next 8 years, you had movies like Man of Steel, which comes out and it still feels that Nolan influence, which largely people grew sick of by the time that movie came out, and Marvel was just doing their own thing. They said, we're just going to make superhero movies the way they were made before. So what if our superhero movie feels like Spider-Man 2? It worked for Spider-Man 2, it's going to work a decade from now, and they saw how the market was changing and adapting, and they just stuck with their guns. And then he talks about the fact that how other movies are marketed, like I said, where they'll make a specific cut that's like, okay, this movie's going to feature 30 minutes of China because Chinese audiences are going to want to see it then, and then it's going to make a ton of money in the #2, most important box office in the world. Well, he just kind of goes on. He can't think of anything. Like, there hasn't been a Marvel movie that's done that in the theatrical cut. Other than Iron Man 3, but that was a specific 8 minutes or 5 to 8 minutes. It's different where you went. There was localized Chinese releases, yada yada, different languages. Believe it or not, China has different Chinese languages. It's complex. But anyway, so that's what he means. So, and he's pretty much saying, we're never going to do that. We're not going to change a movie to market to a certain audience, because that's kind of pointless, and honestly, I 100% agree with him. So let me know what you guys think about what he said, and in the comments below, how do you guys feel about that? And as always, for more MCU news, make sure you guys like this video, and stay tuned for more CBC.